Hi, this is Jessica DeMassa in the Guidewell Insights Lounge, and I'm here with Milind Kamkolkar. He's a partner at PA Consulting.
Yeah.
Milind, welcome.
Thank you.
Happy
Great
to
to
have
be back
you.
again.
Yeah, it's great to have you back. We had you here last year.
Yeah.
So let's just jump right in off
All
of
right.
that. We had you here last year.
Yeah.
So what's happening now in AI? What are the big trends?
The big trends. Well, I think the hype cycle needs to chill out a little bit. I mean, I'm not sure computers can think yet entirely, despite all the belief, right? There's some good applications of AI, right? What we're doing well in AI today is we're figuring out discrete problems. We're doing them well. The big complex problems, we're not really there where, the way I explain it is, if you're teaching a child how to put on their clothes before they go to school, AI is basically like giving them pants and saying, figure out the rest, right?
Okay.
We're not there yet. We still have to tell them you need socks, shoes, and a shirt, right? So you have some of these issues coming up, but I think it's cool. What I liked about it is that 2 years ago, if you talked about AI in a corporate enterprise, the two biggest issues were people would say, first of all, what is that? You're talking space. And number two, I'm not giving you budget for that, right?
Right.
So the beautiful thing about the marketing that's happened now is that we have budget to do that,
right?
People are throwing
all over
money,
that.
right? And we're spending it. But I think, it comes back to basics though, right? Data is data, okay? It's still really dirty.
Okay.
It's still not
What does that
clean.
mean?
Dirty, I mean, you got things like, there'll be fields missing, there'll be, so let's talk about clinical medicine for a second, right?
Sure.
If we're talking about pediatrics, so a physician might say, your child has blah, 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 right? Medical. A parent might say, my kid's got a boo-boo. You still have this issue going on, right? So AI doesn't know how to pick those up very well.
Okay.
Right? Now we're getting better at constructing AI in that space, but we're not there yet. But I'm keen on it. I think it's going to go really well. There's a lot of labor issues. I think that's the big issue that at least with clients that I'm speaking to, their biggest concern is, we've got X number of employees that do business intelligence and analytics in our firm. What is the role of AI as part of the team? Okay. Right? So you have people and you have computers sitting side by side working together and doing amazing things. Culturally, we're not there yet. Okay.
What do you think needs to shift then in the paradigm of thinking in order to culturally integrate in and welcome these AI computers?
Yeah, so I think it comes down to humanistics, right? It's just, I call it digital humanism, right? It's the whole idea of just how do you create a human form factor with algorithms? Do you give it a name? Like, Fred's part of the team, Siri, Cortana, Alexa, right? Wonderful things. I'm personally a fan of Cortana simply because it came from the Halo game, which I'm a big player of. But I think, companies like Alexa are doing remarkable things in that. And I think the more and more we start getting a bit more in tune with that, we get comfortable that, look, they're not here to replace your jobs because you still need subject matter expertise. I think if I was to tell any enterprise company today, if they're investing in AI and their employees are worried, and teach the employees the new skills, give them the tools they need, right? I mean, historically, we talk about exponential, right?
Right.
Most employees in firms have linear career paths.
That's true.
We don't invest in people properly. We don't put the right metrics in place. We don't give them the incentive to want to change. And now all of a sudden you throw technology at them and now they're supposed to figure it out. That's really unfair.
So talk to me a little bit about how you see AI integrating. We've been talking a lot about convergence at this conference, of course, and even super convergence now, which is, I didn't even know it was a thing. So tell me how you see AI fitting into this. Is it the exponential technology that's driving all the rest and everything will converge too, or what? And what do you see as the greatest opportunity of one of the other expo techs converging in with AI?
Okay. So I think the baseline is, the more information we have, the better we are to understand context, right? So I think where AI is today is that because we're solving discrete problems, we try and work on that one problem, but we often miss the context under which it's operating in. So when we start thinking about digital medicine and digital health, what you're really talking about are all of these. So we had big data.
Yeah.
I call it effing big data now. Right?
Great.
Right? Because it's so huge, we don't know what to do with it, right? And we don't really have the appropriate infrastructure to deal with all that now. So what's happening is, weather, traffic signal processing, driving habits, if you look in clinical medicine, right, you have clinical outcomes, you have physiological indicators, which is what most centers are picking up today, but we haven't yet tapped into behavioral indicators, which is, let's say you have a COPD patient that walks 10 steps every day when they go from their chair to the fridge to get a drink,
sure.
right? On day 3 or day 4, we start seeing him only take 8 steps or 6 steps. Those are the behavior changes that we need to pick up better.
Right.
We're not there yet, but I think the convergence is happening to understand behavioral indicators. And I think the next future of AI is not cognitive computing. Cognitive is a very specific area.
Sure.
It's around empathy. It's around effective computing. What is the emotional state of someone to understand the context under which they're making decisions? That is powerful AI.
That is powerful AI.
Yeah.
So tell me, what has you really optimistic, I guess, about the future of healthcare then? What do you see taking hold?
Well,
big picture.
The big picture, to me, the biggest, it was the most beautiful thing when you heard Dr., I don't think he's a doctor, I'm not sure, so if I'm wrong, correct me.
Sure.
Bakul, when he talked about from the FDA.
Bakul Patel.
Right, Bakul Patel. Awesome. I love, when he made this one statement, we're focusing on high risk, not low risk initiatives, right? That to me was like, wow, mind blown. Because finally, we can get away from dealing with the nitty gritty and actually work on the big picture stuff, which is so relevant, right? Focus on the problems that matter. I'm hopeful. I think we're starting to see a better collaboration between the different players in the healthcare industry, including tech and the new guys coming in.
Sure.
But I think the thing we're missing, and this is the big thing that I've noticed, there's a lot of great tech out there.
Yeah.
I don't think we've figured out properly what these mean from a commercial value proposition. What is the incentive for people to develop these? Because at the end of the day, someone has to pay for this.
Right.
Right? So you see a lot of great tech, and we've done some analysis on our own where we see there's a lot of Series A investments. So let's say idea to demo. Lots of ideas to demos. Very few demo to deployed.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And the brick wall in that is funding. Is who's going to pay for that? What's the commercial value? Can you, even if it's for a socially responsible cause, someone still has to pay for that, whether it's from a non-for-profit or otherwise. We haven't figured out that piece yet. I think the better we get to that, the better off we're going to be in really bringing these things together. But it will happen.
Good. Well, thank you so much, Milind, for joining us here in the Insights Lounge. We definitely appreciate your perspective as an AI expert. So thank you so much for joining us. This is Jessica DeMassa in the Guidewell Insights Lounge at Singularity University's Exponential Medicine.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.